chicken lettuce wraps as much as we do. This recipe is super easy, super yummy, and you can make it in a snap. You're gonna wanna think about this recipe in 3 parts. The first part is the chicken, the second part is the salad, and the third part is the sauce. So I'm ready right now to get started on the chicken. And you can see that I put a piece of parchment paper down first, and then I put a plastic cutting board, and I have a special knife for cutting my chicken. I like the plastic cutting boards for chicken because they can go right in the dishwasher. And so I'm setting up what I call a contamination station for the chicken. So I have a chicken breast here that I want to show you that I've already worked on a little bit. This chicken breast, when you buy the chicken breasts in the store now, they're so big and fat in the middle, and then they have these little thin ends. So what you want to do is you want to take your knife and you want to cut your chicken lengthwise like I've done this. And look at how nice and thin and even that chicken is. It's going to cook perfectly and take a lot less time. You won't get a dry middle and rubbery ends. So what am I going to do with this chicken? I've got a plastic bag right here, and I've still got my gloves on, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off because after I do this, I'm going to throw all this away. All my plastic bag and my paper under my cutting board, and put my cutting board right into the sink. But I have some work to do on my chicken first. So I'm going to get a fork and put my chicken breast, and you will have either chicken breasts to make with this recipe or chicken thighs. Chicken thighs don't need to be cut. Chicken breast, you do want to cut it in half lengthwise, but you can use either one. All right, to season my chicken, I'm going to use about a teaspoon of cumin and a teaspoon of coriander. Oh my gosh, both of those smell so good. And about a half teaspoon of sea salt. So come on. And then a couple tablespoons of either avocado or grapeseed oil. Now, could you use olive oil? Absolutely. But avocado oil and grapeseed oil are a much more neutral oil, so they're not going to have any taste, and they're going to let those spices really shine. The other reason I like avocado or grapeseed oil is because they have a higher smoke point. I'm going to move this over to the side. As well as the rest of my empty bowls. Now, I'm going to just take my chicken and I'm going to massage the chicken to move those spices and that oil all over the chicken. Now, what I typically do with this is I will let this hang out on the countertop while I get the rest of my ingredients together, chop my carrots, my cilantro, and things like that. You only need about 15 minutes for this to marinate, and because it is sitting on the counter, it'll up the spices faster. You don't want to leave it out on the counter for more than 30 minutes though, so just be aware of that. And by the magic of video, I have already made some chicken breasts, and I'll grab them in just a moment as soon as I get the salad started. So there's your chicken. It's hanging out and getting yummy. Now let's talk salad. So I have a big platter here that I'm going to use for my salad. And what I've done is I've taken a baby or bib lettuce head that I got at the store. Isn't that pretty? They always remind me of flowers. And I just took out the core, and then I put it all into my salad spinner, separated the leaves out, and spun it, and you will just be so surprised at how much water comes out, even when it doesn't look very wet. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment, and I'm going to start making my salad by just putting my leaves on my platter here. So I like to put the bigger leaves on the outside, but I do like a little texture in here. I don't want to all lay them out flat because I like the crevices and things like that so the dressing can get in there and get yummy. So So here we go. And I've got smaller leaves and bigger leaves. And this was actually 2 small heads. If you have a really big head, you only need 1. Here we go. All right. Salad spinner. Everyone needs a salad spinner. It's the easiest and fastest way to get lettuce really clean. So there's the base of my salad. Next up, I've got some grated carrots. Now, I don't mind if you buy the grated carrots in the grocery store. Just make sure when you do to throw them out on a paper towel and roll them up once, or a clean kitchen towel, just to get rid of any excess moisture. So there goes my carrots right on top of the salad. Of course, you can grate them yourself, but I will really want you to make this, so I don't want you to feel like it's too much work. Okay, next up, I am going to put some avocado on top of my chicken once I slice my chicken. So I want to show you how to do the avocado. I'm putting it on the cutting board, and I'm just going to run my knife all the way around it. I'm going to take my avocado and twist it to open it. And then to take the pit out, I'm going to take it, it's still on the board, you see, take the heel of the knife and, let's see, this one's going to be tough, and just twist it and take it off like that. And you notice I'm using a different knife than my chicken knife. And so you want to use a clean kitchen towel or some paper towels to take that off the knife. Don't try to take it off with your fingers because it's kind of sticky and wet and your fingers could get cut. Okay, so to chop my avocado, all I'm going to do is take my knife and make horizontal and vertical lines just like this. And then, see, I don't even have to peel that avocado. What I'm going to do is grab a bowl. Okay, so I've got a bowl here and a big spoon. And the big spoon, whoops, I want this size. So just a regular old big tablespoon. And now I can take my tablespoon, and can you see that? Am I too far forward? Here we go. And there we go. There is my avocado chunks. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. This avocado is just beautiful. You know, to pick out an avocado, that when you go to the store, what you want to do is just take your avocado and just put it in the palm of your hand and squeeze it gently. If it gives a little bit, it's ready to go. If it gives a lot, it may be too ripe. I always have 2 avocados when I think I only need 1, because you never know with avocados whether they're really going to be ripe and good, or it's going to be too ripe or too hard. You can always use it in your smoothie in the morning. So I'm going to put this aside because that's going to go on top of my chicken, and I'll throw my avocado out, my avocado shell out. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and chop my cilantro right now. So when I bring cilantro home from the store, there are several different ways you can do it, but this is the way I do it. I wash it, I spin it in the salad spinner, and then I put it in a paper towel. And that way, and I put it in a plastic bag and put it in the fridge. That way I have cilantro. It literally will last me all week. So one thing about cilantro that most people don't know is that cilantro is used in cuisines all over the world, but in Asian cuisines, in quite a few of the Asian cuisines, they don't even use the leaves of the cilantro. They use the stems and the roots. That's why sometimes when you go to the Asian store, you will see big roots on the cilantro. That's because they're so flavorful. So this is the way I'm making a little package out of cilantro. This is the way you want to cut your cilantro. And that is, you want to just make a little package out of it. with the stems and everything. Now, if the stems are gnarly, I would cut them off, but these are beautiful. And then I just want to go right through here and chop them, just like this. And then I will put them in the bowl, and they're gonna go on top of my chicken as a garnish. And then the last garnish I have right here is some peanuts. And those peanuts are chopped right here, and then I am going to use this. So I'm gonna move this to the side because I'm gonna need it for the chicken. And here we go. Alrighty, so I have a bowl, and that Asian peanut sauce is always so good when you go to the restaurant. So here we go. Here is the peanut sauce, and I'm putting it right into, this is the peanut butter. I'm putting it right into the bowl, and I'm gonna grab a spatula. So, I want to get all the goodness out. Okay. All right, now that's about a ½ cup of natural peanut butter, and I left this out. This is a store brand from Kroger. It's Simple Truth Organic. You want 1 or 2 ingredients in your peanut butter. One would be peanuts, and the second would be maybe salt. That's it. The rest of those peanut butters are actually not peanut butter, they're actually candy because they have sugar, they have lots of salt, they have fat in them, hydrogenated oils, so really you have to be a label detective when you buy peanut butter. Now I have about a ¼ cup of Mayploy or sweet chili sauce, or sometimes you even hear it called egg roll sauce or spring roll sauce. So I get that off just like that. Okay, you're gonna find that in the international section of the grocery store, and of course I'm gonna bring you some on Friday. So here we go. And then I'm gonna put in some lime juice. So here we go. So I've got 2 limes that I squeezed, and it gave me about 2½ tablespoons of lime juice. I love this kind of squeezer because it's heavy metal and it gives you enough heft to get through your limes or lemons or oranges. Don't buy 3 different kinds of squeezers, just buy one. Buy the orange one because you can use lemons or limes or oranges in it. So, right here, now this peanut sauce doesn't have many ingredients, and when you make anything that has very few ingredients, you really need to taste it a lot because ingredients make things taste good, and when you only have a few, you want to make sure they're in the correct proportion. So let me just taste this peanut sauce and see if I need like more lime juice. It's really good. I think we could use just a little bit more. And depending on how big your limes are will depend on how much lime juice you need. Okay, look at this. Doesn't that look good? Yum. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this salad. And we're gonna finish it by grabbing our chicken that I made a little bit ago. So here we go. So after it marinated for about 15 minutes, I put it on a parchment lined sheet tray, and you can see that these are all my thin chicken breasts, and I'm gonna just slice them up and put them right on my salad. So here we go. I'll set that aside while I do the others. And you can tell by looking at the chicken that it's done perfectly. It's not super dry. It's still juicy. You can see the moisture on my cutting board here. And that comes from not overcooking it and cutting it in half like I did. And also just making sure, you can always check on your instant read thermometer, 165. Now these chicken breasts, just like this that you're looking at, they took 20 minutes in the preheated 400 degree oven. So that's a good just measure that you can go by. And you can flip them halfway through, but actually you really don't have to. All right, so now I'm going to put my chicken in here, just like this. Okay. All right. I'm going to grab my paper towel and wipe off my hands. Now, set this aside. Look at, isn't this looking gorgeous? Now, you can either take your peanut sauce and drizzle it over the whole thing. But you know what I like to do? I like to grab a bowl and I like to put it in a bowl and serve it up on the side, or you could actually nestle the bowl right into your salad. So there it is right there. So just like this right here, and I'll clean off the edge right there. And then just a couple more things. We've got the avocado right here to put on top. Okay. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, now I've got my peanuts, and these are just peanuts that I chopped up, just coarsely chopped peanuts. They're dry roasted, but you could use whatever kind you like. And then some cilantro on top of that. Doesn't this just look delicious? Now, if I was going to serve this up as a single appetizer, what I would do is I would take one of these big leaves back here, and I would take a spoon and I would grab a piece of chicken just like this, and maybe some of the carrots and avocado, and then put just a little dab of the peanut sauce on there. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And then what I would do is take it and then wrap it up just like a little roll, and I have some toothpicks here, and I would toothpick it together, and then that way you could have a whole platter of these, and people could just pick them up and pop them in their mouths. Make sure when you do that though that you can see the toothpick on each side, because you wouldn't want anybody eating that toothpick. So that is the Thai inspired chicken lettuce wraps, and I hope you enjoy them, and I hope that you make them and eat them. Yum.